All right, well, hello everybody, and welcome back to what is undoubtedly the final Sunday in the gardens. Well, outdoor Sunday in the gardens anyway, and what is yet again another sort of test. I've got the microphone in my hand here that came with that old crappy camera that I hated so much. I have downgraded the video quality one more time, and I'm stuck here trying to carry the umbrella because it's also raining out. But as you're about to see, it was definitely a good idea to harvest things when I did, because holy crow, we've had one decent frost right after another, and yeah, I would not have gotten any further growth out of this. So let's hope the mic and camera setup and umbrella and all that works, and let's go. All that preamble aside, I am definitely still hoping to get a lapel mic. Here we've got the pond at the end of the season. The fish are all hiding down at the bottom. And for those of you who are long-term viewers of the channel, I'm sure you can guess that means I'm going to be setting up the aquaponics downstairs pretty soon. The mint has done a surprisingly good job of staying alive in this cold. Kind of impressive. That thistle's not looking too bad either. And we can see some decent green in the oregano. You know, a lot of plant leaves, it seems like the cells inside them, once they hit that first frost, they just kind of explode and do this. Here we've got, I believe this is one of the Naga vipers up front here. Not looking good. All of these pepper plants pretty much just gave it after that first frost, but when the second one came, that was definitely end of it for them. Oh, look at that. I did miss a pepper in there, and it kind of looks like this mystery pepper might have been a sand dollar. Oh, tragedy. Oh, well, too late to try and save it now, but I will grab that pepper a little bit later after I'm done this tragic sort of garden update, but still leaving all the plants in there. We've got the little hole from the two that are clipped and flipped downstairs. Harvested all the tomatoes the next day, aside from the indigo rose here. Like I say, I'm not going to bother. There's no point in letting those ripen up inside. They're just not worth the time. The potato plants have frozen and died, so I'm looking for a little feedback there. I think they can probably stay out here until we get like a really killer hard frost, below freezing all day, but I don't know. Never really grown a decent potato patch, so feedback there would be fantastic. Look on up here. We do have a few pleasant surprises as far as plants that can survive a good hard frost. This tomato is not one of them, but down at the base here, hopefully you can still hear me. I know the mic does weird things, but this parsley, look how vibrant and green that still is. That is doing really, really well. Quite curious to see just how long that will survive for, because some of the more natural and generally unintentional plants like the dandelions and such, and those thistles we saw up front, they're going strong. Whatever that is by the cup there, that looks like it's probably some type of clover. It's doing just fine. So not everything's going to die at first frost, but some things, yeah, absolutely are. You know, we look over here, the sister's patch, the corn is toast. Did a harvest off that. I found, in the end it was 19 that looked like they're going to be filled out enough for human consumption. And quite a few that the chickens have gotten to enjoy, and they're still, you know, hopefully you can see it in there. There's still a few in there that I'm going to harvest off for the hens a little bit later, but got too cold that day. Tried to harvest some of these beans, and I guess we're going to have to eat them as fresh beans. Not too many of them that actually dried and got, I don't know, set for preservation on the vines for me this year, but yeah, I don't know. Interesting to grow. I think maybe next year in the garden, look how well those thistles are doing. Anyway, I think next year in the garden I might go with more of a French bean. I'm more familiar with how to eat those and when to eat those. Look at these pumpkins, eh? This happened pretty much right after that first frost. I did harvest a few pumpkins from in there, and a lot of the smaller ones have again gone to the girls. Go in, give them the boot heel, and watch those chickens just devour those things. That is quality entertainment. I don't think I got any of that on video for the farm channel, but yeah, I probably should have. Again, we can see the thistles, some of the strongest things surviving in here. I guess I can make soup out of them, but I don't think thistles have too much more use than that. Going over to the Chaos patch, we've got that volunteer strawberry. It's doing all right. The Shard, look at that. Surprisingly still very strong, even though it's been all this cold out. And yeah, there's a bitter wind going right now. I hope you can still hear me with this mic set up. Surprisingly, the sunflowers doing fairly well. I thought these would be among the first to go. I'm still hoping. Just a couple of rings of those seeds. I don't know. They're all white right now. If I take that head in, will it finish ripening to a point that I can plant some of those next year? Anyone? Anyone? Yeah. Surprised though that those are still doing so well. Because I mean, pumpkins, sunflowers. I generally think of a pumpkin as more of an autumn plant, and a sunflower is more of a summer plant, but yeah, I've been wrong before. I'll be wrong again. Consistency is key, you know. A lot of things here though in the Chaos Garden that are still very, very vibrant, so that is quite fascinating. And long term, that's good for the soil in here, as I'm learning about mycorrhizal fungi and all kinds of interesting microbacteria and the things they're doing in the soil. Yeah, quite fascinating. A lot of interesting stuff I'm really looking forward to sharing with people in more topical type videos. This cherry tree is doing surprisingly well. A lot of green still going on in there. Wonderful harvest from this year. Can't wait to see what next year does for us. The pear is already toast. Pan over and oh yeah, I got some more potatoes here I guess I'm gonna have to deal with. Pull them out, see what we got. But yeah, the pear, our 3 variety pear, lost all its leaves early. But on the upside, they turned a nice red, so it's gonna be rather enjoyable. Most things kind of just go orangey yellow around here. We don't get a lot of reds. And the rhubarb is pretty much where we end it today, I guess. All right, so between questionable wind, questionable mics, holding an umbrella, and a freezing hand, I am definitely going to wrap it up. I hope this video has worked out well, so I don't have to do it again, really. And I hope you've enjoyed this brief look at the end of the year here in our little gardens, where, you know, the experiments keep rolling on. Next year, I've got a whole lot of new things lined up, so yeah, stick around for the fall and winter Bear's Den chats in front of the blackboard, and hopefully I'll be able to explain some of these ideas a little better than I have in the past, because that blackboard will just give me that bit of visualization, right? So yeah, much love everybody. I hope you've got a much longer garden season ahead of you than I had here, and I look forward to getting a chance to check out some of your channels and some of your updates, because frankly I've missed it. Oh, I hope that wind is bearable, and yeah, that's my cue. I'm out. Take care everybody.